field. Welcome to the Bart Lundy Basketball Show.
And I'm coming here to take this fantastic university and this city, and hopefully we can just turn it on its ear. You guys, you okay with that?
Your insider look at all things Panthers basketball from the head coach himself, Bart Lundy.
So all summer on this floor, in this gym, we've talked a lot about not 2 minutes short. We're not going to have our work leave us 2 minutes short. That's been a motivating factor for us.
Now live from the guest house inside the student union on the campus of the University of Wisconsin-Milwaukee. Here at the
Welcome back. This is season 1, episode 2, for those of you who are binge watching the Bart Lundy Basketball Show. Welcome inside the guest house on another Monday night. I am Scott Morris. He is Panthers head coach Bart Lundy, and we are here. Team Bus 1 is assembled for another Monday night. Coach, welcome back to your program. Good weekend. What did you do on the weekend? I should have counted how many weekends, like from November 1st through mid-March, are you not going to be coaching a game? It's rare that we get a weekend, Saturday, Sunday, without a ball game. That was the case after a big one over CSU.
Yeah, I think, well, before I answer that, I just want to tell people that anybody that wants to be on Team Bus 1 Monday nights, the list expands.
Yes.
For Team Bus 1.
We'll be here again next Monday.
And if you come, you can find out what Team Bus 1 actually means.
That's right. It's secret code. We have a secret handshake and everything.
Yeah, Dakota rings. I think these guys would agree, the coaches that are here would agree that the days do kind of run together. So when you said we had a weekend, I'm going, yeah, that's Saturday, Sunday, because they all are similar. But we did give the guys Saturday off. We did a little recruiting. I ran the clock for Liam's game.
Did you?
Yeah. So that was either the clock or the book, and just let the other parent decide what they wanted to do. I ran the clock. So high level stuff. That was over at Brown Deer. Where Jose Winston, won lots of games, and so it was a good weekend.
There's pressure in running that clock. Did you feel a little pressure, even for a grade school game?
Yeah, it's running clock until for last minute of the first half and last 2 of the second. And then
How long do they play?
2 20-minute running halves.
So it's just like us, except you run the clock.
Yeah. Liam opened up with
Wait a minute.
a pull-up three.
Wait, it's a running clock.
Yeah,
So technically, you don't have to
keep score and team fouls.
Oh, that's true. You're doing more than just a clock.
Yeah, horn and
okay.
There's other things. Yeah.
Okay.
There's other things.
How did Liam do? What was his line? Do you have a stat line memorized? You remember that?
He did okay. He hit a pull-up 3 to start the 2 games. He played back-to-back games, and maybe didn't shoot it as well after that. But he played well. Plays hard and has fun. And I have a lot of fun watching him. And it's a good time. Give Brown Deer some funds. But I will say that the state of Wisconsin, I think that's an independent group that runs that league. It's the WIAA, is that right? Yeah, WY. Yeah, it's WYBL. Yeah, WYBL. But it is great for the state. It's great for kids, and it's something that a lot of states don't have. And that's off to them.
Well, like we said, before the weekend, you guys played Cleveland State on Thursday night. Yeah, that was a Thursday night, wasn't it? 79-67. It was, what was the term of the night? Just a real grind of a game, which is kind of the way Cleveland State plays. And you talked about it in your post game about how it kind of is, it's an indication of Daniel Robinson and his philosophies and how he coaches. And there's a few teams in this league, when you beat them, you feel like you've accomplished something rather significant, and that was the sense I thought on Thursday night.
Yeah, it's one of those games that you're sore for a couple days
Right.
after. It's physical, it's a hard-nosed game. He's a hard-nosed coach, they're a hard-nosed program. We've had success against them, but it's always a dogfight. It's always a dogfight, and we played well. I thought it, sometimes I tell the team this, sometimes I don't, but I thought it was a race to 70. Because the way that, you know, they are a little offensive challenged. They shot it better than they usually do against us. But they are a little offensively challenged. So we didn't want to give them any points, but I thought if we could beat them to 70, we would win the game. And I think it was 69, 67 at one point, and in my mind I'm going, okay, whoever scores the next basket, and we scored the next 10 points. So
right.
It was a good finish for the guys.
You guys were 20 out of 37 at the free throw line, 76% basically, season highs, makes and attempts, and in percentage. For fans who don't know the work that's been going on behind the scenes with the free throw shooting, and you kind of talked about it, I think Todd asked you a question a couple of games back about just your general philosophy on how much is on, you know, the team to improve collectively versus guys just got to get in the gym and shoot free throws. And it certainly paid dividends for the work that they'd all been doing.
Yeah, we've been in the gym a lot. Guys are in the mornings, and then we're shooting them after practice. We're recording them. We don't always do that. We always do some kind of shooting and some kind of free throw work, but we've really emphasized it because it had become a problem. And you know, it's good too. Like when KP goes 11 for 12. That really helps percentages, you know. But you know, we still have the philosophy that you got to do your work, you got to be in the gym, and then you got to have the guts to step up and at game time and make them. So you know, it was good to see us do that. Now the threes got to come. You know, we need threes, we need free throws.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's take a quick break, Coach. When we come back, I want to dive a little deeper into that Cleveland State game. You know, here we sit, and it's not even Christmas time, and it's tough to find the next adjective to describe what Michael Stillwell is doing, but we're going to have to try to find a way to describe what he's doing and the domination with which he's doing it. We'll get into that and more as we continue on a Monday night, live from the Dust.
Who keeps your supply chain running smoothly? Meet Basic Metals Incorporated, headquartered in Germantown, Wisconsin. We specialize in stainless steel and aluminum products, delivering precision cut materials tailored to your needs. From sheets and foils to custom sizes, our reliable service ensures your production line stays on track. Visit BasicMetals.com or call 262-255-9934. Basic Metals Incorporated, the competitive edge for your aluminum and stainless supply chain. Looking to buy or refinance a home? Green City Mortgage is Milwaukee's go-to mortgage broker. Our team focuses on customer service, clear communication, and making the process affordable so you can focus on what matters most, enjoying your new home. Buying a house should be exciting, not stressful. We'll take care of the financing so you can dream about furniture and paint colors. After all, no one ever says, wow, what a gorgeous mortgage. They say, what a beautiful home. Now where's the fridge? Green
Of uniforms and here on this Monday night inside the Gas House Bart Lundy basketball show continues. We should mention that after 6:30 we'll be joined by Associate Coach Jose Winston. We'll do a little walk down memory lane. I can't wait to ask Jose his thoughts on this talented guards, the trio of guards that you have in your lineup. And he knows Johnny Lovelace Jr. as well as anybody. We'll get into that with Jose and have some fun as well with a member of that 02-03 NCAA tournament team. But first, Coach, well, we have you here for a little while yet. I mean, Michael Stillwell, I have a feeling like we're going to have to talk about him every time we do this show because it's warranted. And again, 12 points and 15 rebounds, and he's top 5 in rebounds in the nation and any other different type of rebound category. He's top 5, top 10 at worst. I remember thinking, like, I cannot wait for this guy. I cannot wait for him to take on the Horizon League. And he feasted on the Vikings on Thursday night.
Yeah, he was really good, and that desire to go get the ball is something that you can't teach. It's not coaching. It's a little bit recruiting because we did look for that.
Sure.
Rebounded. We knew he rebounded at a high level, and rebounding is one of those things in recruiting. Not everything translates. Shooting percentages don't always translate. Some of the other stats don't, but rebounding always translates. And I had an old assistant, my old assistant at Queens, who's now the head coach. He has this speech, this camp. We all have these camp speeches. Rebounding gets you paid. And Jermichael Stillwell is going to get paid because he can really rebound basketball.
Your team as a whole, I mean, you have somebody this caliber. I mean, that carries the day, sets the tone, whatever you might want to say. But your team as a whole, I mean, since you got here a couple of years ago, you guys have set or reset the record book in so many different ways when it comes to rebounding. Is that something that's always been central to your philosophy in coaching and something you wanted to bring at every stop along the way every year?
Well, we have our margins,
right?
And we've talked about that before. And offensive rebounding is one of our big margins because it gets you more possessions. But the last two teams, I will say this: this team is a more complete rebounding team than we've had. The numbers were good before,
right?
But this team does a good job. Really, all 5 guys generally on the floor defensively block out. We do grade out. We talked about that last week, and our grade outs are so much better now than they had been the last 2 years. Just because we have guys that are more interested in the defensive end, and part of that is defensive rebounding. So I think we've always been a good offensive rebounding team, not always a good defensive rebounding team. This team is just a good rebounding team.
You're 5-0 to start at home this year. And every coach says when he takes a job, probably in every sport, we want to win our home games and create, a certain amount of home court, home field advantage, whatever the sport might be. I know that's something you said early, but like I said, every coach says it. It doesn't always play out that way. Why have you guys been so good at home since you got here? And I'll add the caveat, so incredibly great in league play at home.
I think the way we play when you add the home and you add the fatigue that comes on the road. I think fatigue is something that works against you when you play our style against our style. And I don't know that this is all of it, but our percentages are a little better. When we play on the road, our margins have been pretty small. If you look over the 2 and a piece year, we've had a couple of the games that got away from us, but our margins have been pretty close on the road. And so when you get to home, you gain those margins back. And I don't want to get too far into the numbers. I'll get too far into the numbers. But we are tough to beat at home because you're going to have fatigue when you play us, and we get our margins. So it just lends itself that we're really good at home, and we've got to translate that a little better on the road.
Is that something that do the players pick up on that as well? I mean, do they recognize they can't beat us if we're playing at home? Like, we have an advantage there. I mean, is that something that, as the years go by, it's kind of become just ingrained in their minds, you think? A confidence level, maybe?
So I'm gonna give you an answer, and I don't want this to sound, that I don't want it to sound arrogant.
No.
But you get to a point where, and this is where you want your program to go, you get to a point where the other team doesn't think they can beat you. Doesn't think they can beat you. If you're a really good program, they don't think they can beat you at home or on the road. And I think we're to the point where teams struggle mentally to believe that they're going to beat Milwaukee at Milwaukee. And that's a good thing. Now, if we can go that next step, which is where you go from a good program to an elite program, to where you go on the road and teams don't think that they can beat you, because 72% of the games in college basketball are won by the home game or the home team. So the percentage.
Is that the numbers?
Yeah, 72%. But it becomes a mental thing.
Yeah.
You know, and when you start to be really good in a league, that's what you have. You have that mental edge. It might not be physical. You might not have as good a team that year, but year in, year out, the other teams don't believe that they're going to beat that best team. And that's what best teams do.
I've used the phrase, in those situations, I know those situations, they've beaten you the minute you got off the bus. Like, they've beaten you on the bus, or as you're stepping off the bus, you haven't even walked into the building yet, and they got you.
They already got you.
Yeah.
They got 3 guys out in boots, and they're playing some walk-ons, and they still got you. Yeah, that's what elite programs do.
What's the toughest venue you've ever had to coach a game in?
You know, this is a
Speaking
long
of
time
home
ago.
court advantage and stuff like that.
A lot of tough ones. The hardest was before I became a head coach. It was my first year in coaching at Winthrop University. And we went to UConn. And it was their I don't even know if they still ever played in this place anymore. I can't remember what it was called. But it was like the Terror Dome or whatever, Mad Max, the
Thunderdome?
Thunderdome. It was like the Thunderdome. It went straight up and people were hanging off the balconies and it was loud. But I've coached in a lot of the big arenas and against a lot of big teams. But you'd be amazed, like we had a rivalry in Charlotte with Johnson C. Smith, which is an HBCU across town. And every year, they call it Bray Boy Madness. And Bray Boy Gym was like 2,000 people could get in there if you crammed everybody in there. And there was people behind you. There was no security. Like, y'all think I'm gonna be scared of Green Bay? I've been to Bray Boy. Like, Bray Boy is like nothing you've ever seen. So I can't tell you some of the things that have been done behind me, to me,
Wow.
by the fans. And this is the kind of place where if there is a major dunk, people are sprinting onto the floor, and there's nobody to stop them. Like it's madness, and that place would get louder than any place I think I've ever been in, and that was a great rivalry. But you know, at Duke, at Carolina, those are memorable ones. You know, I love Kentucky because you stay in the hotel attached to Rupp Arena.
Really?
Yeah, you just walk through the tunnel from your hotel room. Yeah.
But isn't Rupp Arena, I mean, doesn't Rupp Arena hold like 20-some thousand? It just seems so big that you lose a certain amount of the atmosphere, apparently not.
Yeah, no, it is big.
Yeah.
But this is way back, but Tubby Smith was the head coach. I was the head coach at High Point, and Tubby Smith was a grad at High Point. So we pressed them. We were down. Rajon Rondo was their point guard. We pressed them. The last possession, he got in foul trouble. Last possession of the first half, turned him over and scored at the buzzer, and the entire arena booed Tubby as he walked out. Rajon Rondo ended up kicking our tail in the second half, but it does get loud. And then I was just listening to Patino talk about his team on a coaching podcast, and he was talking about a game that he lets his teams now watch, which was Jimmy Butler, Jay Crowder, and we were at the Yum Center, and we had a 20-point lead, and we blew the lead. And he shows his team how teams blow the lead, and how if they do their press right, that they can come back. And I do remember the Yum Center. It was rocking.
Yeah.
He had that white Colonel Sanders
The Colonel
suit.
Sanders.
Yeah, that was memorable.
Did you see he busted out the Luke Carnesecca sweater the other night?
No, I saw Jerome Tang did it at
Yeah.
Kansas State, but I didn't see it.
Yeah, Patino had the old like brown V sweater from him and John Thompson did it way back in the day. That was pretty cool.
Yeah, he was in that
Yes. All right, well, since you kind of segued for me, Coach, you talked rivalry, you talked venues. There's a matchup on Wednesday night in Green Bay. Oh boy. And for those of you watching us here, we are broadcasting live from New Zealand. Here we are right above
That's
the
46 degrees.
We'll continue with
What
more.
do we play next?
We'll look that up and we'll give you the answer on Wednesday night when we come back as the Bart Lundy radio show continues in just a flash.
At 262-789-8006 today.
Rolling on a Monday night here inside the Gas House. The basketball show continues. We'll be back at it again next Monday from 6 until 7. We're on YouTube. We're streaming it on the Varsity app, Varsity Network, MKEPanthers.com. Don't forget Jose Winston, associate coach, will join us after 6:30, the back half of the show. Coach, a few minutes before the bottom of the hour, and Wednesday night, 6 o'clock, the rivalry is renewed. Panthers and the Green Bay Phoenix. This one will be in the Resch Center, and they're struggling right now. I mean, they're 2-8. They've lost 5 in a row, and they're dealing with a few things up there. I guess the first question I'll ask you is, what's been the key to getting your guys to just focus on themselves and be the best version of the Panthers they can be, and let all that noise take care of itself on their end of the thing?
Oh, I don't think they're doing that. I think they're both worried about us. They want to know all that. You know, they want to hear what those guys are talking about. I think they're much more public with their things than we are. So, you know, it's interesting to watch it and see it. And you know, we brought some of that up to our guys today. They already knew it all. So, you know, guys that are back from last year have told the guys that are here, you know, what's happened, and you know, the history and the rivalry, and you know, all that's good stuff. And we're ready to go.
When you decide, and I guess maybe it varies from team to team and the personalities of the team to be able to immerse it, maybe immerse is too strong a word, but you know, to just kind of recognize the storylines going into it. What is it about this group that you thought, yeah, these guys, they're okay to know all the dirty details and things like that, you're ready to go?
Well,
just maturity of the group.
Yeah, maturity and toughness and grit, and you know, if you're going to go into a street fight, I'd probably want AJ McKee with me, and JaMichael Stillwell, and Darius Duffy, and KP. You know, we got some guys that aren't going to back away from a fight. And not that we fight,
Right.
You know, metaphorically, proverbially, yeah. How do you say that?
Proverbially.
But we got some guys that don't back down. Win or lose, we're going to go up there and we're going to play exceptionally hard. We're going to play together and let it fall where it will. But I'll take our group.
Which, when we were here a week ago, last Monday night, you told us about how you and some of the veterans, some of the seniors just kind of had a meeting, I think earlier in that day, to just kind of clear the air and kind of recalibrate, was the term I used, on some things. And then we saw how you guys played and competed on Thursday. It seems like that might be, maybe we look back on that Monday meeting as kind of a line of demarcation before and after.
Yeah, those meetings are always good, but this was a championship. We talked about that as a championship meeting, and I thought especially KP. KP is a great barometer, a great gauge of the chemistry in our team. The chemistry on our team is not good. KP's not going to play well. When he feels good about the group, when he feels like everybody's on the same page, when he feels warm and cuddly with the group. He made that. Then he's gonna perform well, and he performed pretty well.
24-10, feeling good on Thursday. Anthony Roy was suspended last game because he missed a shoot around, and Coach Gottlieb was very public with that. I assume you guys plan for him to be there. I mean, you can't afford to not plan for him to not be there. And he's a talented scorer.
Oh, he'll be there.
Tell us about Roy. Tell me, because maybe folks have seen clips, maybe they're watching a little highlight film, but you've broken this thing down. What type of scorer is he that has made him, able to come in and just set the world on fire offensively?
Well, he leads the country in isolation attempts and isolation points. So not only does he play in isolation, but he makes shots. So his shot chart is very interesting. He's only behind the arc and at the rim, and he gets to the free throw. He's really good in a broken floor and transition. He's going to put it in his right hand and flip it back to his left hand. So I'm hoping he listens to this and he tries to keep it in the right hand and prove that he can do it. So, I mean, he's a really good player. He's way more athletic than you think he is. He's sneaky athletic. And they run some good stuff to get him into space. But, some teams have different breakdown offenses. And I think that some of Coach Gottlieb's issues with him has been early in the shot clock, some of the shots he's taken. But when that shot clock runs down a little bit, he's going to end up with the ball at the top of the key somehow, and that's when a lot of those isolations happen. So you better have some good, one-on-one defenders and a scheme that you can at least limit him.
Statistically, they're struggling defensively in just about every major and most every minor category as well. When you look at what they're trying to do, and obviously a first-year coach trying to apply, his beliefs, his philosophies, as he finds his beliefs and his philosophies, and build something there, kind of an identity crisis, or still searching for something there. What can you guys do, who are very much, with an identity? What can you guys do offensively against these guys?
I mean, for us, we just have to throw good pitches. We have to throw good pitches. We have to have good, solid possessions. We have to not beat ourselves and let our offense help our defense a little bit, which we have done for the most part for the last few games. But for them, they've got young guys.
They do.
And they don't have like some of the shot blockers that we've seen, in the games we've played. But that doesn't mean they're not going to be ready to play. I mean, we're going to get the best game from Rudiger. We're going to get Hall's best game. We're going to get Foster Wonder's best game. Jose Winston had a philosophy that all that with Roy, maybe it wasn't, I think it was shoot around, but all that with Roy was just to get him juiced for this one. So we're going to get their best punch, and we're going to get their. They know their defensive numbers suck, and we're going to get their best defensive effort. So I mean, they don't do anything different than anybody else. They just got to do a little better.
Sure. That'll be a 6 o'clock tip. That was at the Resch Center, and we'll have the broadcast as always here on the Varsity Network and on 101.7 FM. The Truth. Fingers crossed that I'm courtside, Coach.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you're gonna have to rally. You're already ruling out the post game.
Not if I got to go through the Green Bay crowd.
All right, that's fair. That's fair.
Leaves warm and fuzzy again.
Just wave at me from my perch. All right, Coach. We'll let you go. We're going to talk to Jose Winston here in a couple of moments. We will see you on Wednesday night at the Resch Center. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Bart Lundy.
The Kalachi Center is the place to be this winter when the Milwaukee Panthers women's
We continue on this Monday night. The Bart Lundy Basketball Show turns into the Jose Winston Basketball Show. Of course, former Panther player himself, a member of that 03 NCAA tournament team, former Mr. Basketball in the state of Wisconsin. Oh my God, the accolades. The accolades, Jose.
Yeah, a long time ago.
I appreciate you doing this. Thanks for doing this.
Thanks for having me. We needed to bring somebody good looking to the show, so glad that ugly guy's gone, and now you guys can see a good looking face now.
Want to say hello to everybody watching on YouTube?
Hello, everyone.
I want to ask you about, because you've seen basketball played at the highest level, NCAA tournament, all that stuff. The expectations that have been placed on this team this year, I mean, you've been a part of a high expectation team that was able to see it all the way through. What's the key to doing that? And what do you see out of this group this year that maybe similar traits, maybe similar characteristics from that 02-03 squad?
I think the biggest thing is not taking a day off. Understanding that every day has to be a grind. Understanding that you have to stay even keel with this thing. You're gonna have some high moments, you're gonna have some low moments, but making sure you can stay even keel. I think the thing that I see as far as similarities with this team, that team we had when we first went to the tournament here, was just overall toughness. I think we have senior leadership. Those guys are tough. They've been through some battles. And then the other thing I can't harp enough on is we have the right guy that's leading the program. So when you have toughness and you have guys that are selfless that can really play, and then you add the right leader, the sky's the limit.
What are the Pearl Lundy similarities?
Two different dudes, but both of them have such a high understanding of the game of basketball. Both are winners. Both have won at every level they've been at. And then the other thing is both really cares about the community as well. And I think that translates well to them having success in this program.
What, through your eyes, and we should point out, you go to Colorado, you're the single season assist record holder at Colorado before coming here for your last year. So you know a little something about guard play. You know a little something about point guard play. This three-headed monster that is Ken Trapolian, AJ McKee, and Themis Folks, through your eyes, how special a group is this? Because you see things that I don't, certainly, and that fans don't.
Yeah, you say three, but we have four. Unfortunately, Eric was dealing with some things, but hopefully he'll be back here soon. But again, all of those guys, man, they're special in their own way. Kentrell is just a bulldog. He's tough, he's rugged. You look at AJ, he's so seasoned. He's been through the wars. He's averaged 20 points at this level. You look at Demons, who have already led one program to the NCAA tournament, understands the game at a very, very high level. You can talk to him about anything. And then, when Eric's back in the mix, Eric is that smooth operator that, can do a little bit of everything. So we have, as you know, in order to get to the NCAA tournament, you got to have very, very strong guard play. The game comes down to how good your guards are, and we believe we got 4 of the better guards, especially in this conference, but in the country.
Okay, so you mentioned Themis, right? And Themis with Louisiana Lafayette a couple of years ago as their point guard, they go to the NCAA tournament. What knowledge does he have that nobody else on this roster has because of that, because of getting there? Something you have because you got there. What is it that Themis has between the ears because of that experience? That 1 year at Lafayette especially.
Yeah, well, he understands the big picture. He really understands the big picture. If you've never been there before, you really don't know the grind that it takes. And I think the thing about Themis is he knows how to manage his body. He knows how to communicate with each and every player differently. He knows how to communicate with all the coaches. And that comes with time. That comes with being seasoned, right? And but the biggest thing is for him is that he's been through the grind. He knows what it takes to get there. So it's like he hasn't pulled people along with him, which he's been doing.
What is his favorite skill? That you see him do something in the game or you've seen him do in practice? Is there an element of his game, like talking about Themis for just a moment, that you especially appreciate?
I appreciate his feel. He has an uncanny feel for the game. He knows when AJ needs to get a shot just by the look on AJ's face. He knows when he needs
already now, even though the first year together.
Yeah, he picked up on that
really
instantly. He knows when to get Duffy a dunk. Like last game when he couldn't do it to AJ, he knew Duff was trailing. And you know what that does for Demons? Next time somebody blow past him, Duffy's gonna block that shot for him. So he knows how to kind of play the game within the game, and that's what I really admire about him. Even with the referees, if you notice, he plays the game with the refs as well, which only a seasoned guy would know how to do that.
Could you do that? Would you do that with the referee game?
Yeah. I mean, you want the refs to feel like they're your friend, So I mean, even when you're frustrated and they listen to you, you should go back out there next time out and be like, hey, thanks for listening to me, because they may give you a foul later down the line.
That is part of it. I mean, to have that connection with the officials for the course of that game, to kind of be the mediator, if you have to be the mediator, or whatever the case may be. There was a game, was it during the Cream City Challenge? And he was called for a foul. And was it the St. Thomas game? He was called for a foul. He was trying to negotiate that it wasn't him who committed the foul. Meanwhile, I think it was St. Thomas kid, she shoots a free throw, And whenever Themis had said, convince the official to get together in between the free throws at the same time as kid, they go back to the monitor, and sure enough, he didn't commit it. Now they put it on AJ, and it was AJ's fourth. It was either going to be Themis's fourth or AJ's fourth. But I thought, my gosh, that is the first time I've ever seen a player negotiate a review that ultimately got a foul taken off of his line.
Yeah, but that's a credit to Themis and his high IQ and how he knows how to communicate with people. He just kept talking to the ref.
Yeah.
I'm sure he wasn't screaming at her at all. You know, he knew how to talk to her. He knew which tone to use. You know, when to approach her, which then caused her to go give AJ that foul instead of him.
Did you ever get something like switch, like something like that? You know, your negotiations with referees. Did you ever get like a, wow, I won. I won an argument. I won a conversation with a referee.
Yeah, I think for me it was more, when I was playing, it was more just wanting to be able to communicate with the referee. Even if I was wrong, I would go to them and say, hey, you know, I'm wrong, but can you please look at this next time we come down to court? Yes, I committed that offensive foul, but he has his hand on my hip, kind of pushing me into that guy. So hopefully they'll listen to you and communicate with you.
We have seen, and Coach Lundy has mentioned how there are times in practice where Themis will make a pass and he'll see something that Bart says, I didn't even see that there. When you're in that, when you see the game and see things develop before anybody sees it develop, I mean, how do you do that and be effective while also making sure your teammates are ready to go? I mean, you can be whipping the ball over, you can see everything, but if your teammates aren't ready, if they don't see it, well, then it's just another turnover.
Well, one is the trust that your teammates have in you. They know that you can get them the ball and you can
be ready.
See, if you can't pass, then I'm not going to be ready for your pass because I know you're not going to pass it to me, right? But if you have a guy like Themis who at any given time can hit you on the run, he can hit you when you're open, he can thread that ball through different defenders, you're always looking for it because you know he's a willing passer.
Has the guard game changed from when you played to now? We're basically talking, you know, a 20-year period in essence.
Oh, man, it's been 20 years, man. Damn.
Give or take.
25 almost.
20.
You know, give me 20.
I'll give you 20.
No,
Has it changed though?
What has changed is, I think, the label of the players now, right? So when I was playing, a point guard had to be the general. So, you know, if a guy scored a lot, he couldn't be the point. They didn't look at him as a point guard, they looked at him as a shooting guard.
Right.
So now, in today's world, how we play now is, you know, you can average 19 points and still be considered a point guard, right? So I think guys are allowed to kind of be a little bit more aggressive offensively to be able to get better numbers.
Well, the game is more positionless.
Absolutely.
Right? I mean, in college, high school, and all the way up to the pros. Is the game better now?
Certain aspects of it is. I think that guys are more athletic. I think that guys are so versatile, so skilled.
Yeah.
I think the thing I still talk about with guys that played a while back is just the physicality of the game is a little different. It's not as physical anymore. You know, you can't put two hands on a guy and not get fouled. You know, different things like that. But as far as the athletes, man, these guys are special. These guys are special.
We're spending a couple of minutes here on the Bart Lundy Basketball Show with Associate Coach Jose Winston. We'll take a break, Jose. When we come back, I want to talk about the evolution of John Lovelace Jr. and how you have seen his career grow, and you coached him once upon a time, and now you're a coach of his again. And we'll get into some big picture things. I'm curious on, you know, a thing or two about rivalries and big games and hostile atmospheres and all that stuff from your playing days. We'll get into that as we continue with Jose Winston. Here inside the Guest House, UWM Student Union, as Panthers get ready for the Green Bay Phoenix on Wednesday night. It'll be a 6 o'clock start. It is at the Resch. Don't go to the Crest, so you'll be at the wrong venue. It'll be the Resch Center on Wednesday night at 6 o'clock, and Jose Winston, kind enough to spend the back half of the show with us here. Associate Coach Jose Winston. Before we get to Green Bay and just matchups and rivalries and venues, and you've seen a lot of that stuff, I do want to ask you about John Lovelace Jr. And there's a young man who is from Milwaukee, played at Brown Deer High School, played for you at Brown Deer, and goes to Youngstown State. And like a lot of guys, find their way back if the situation changes where they are originally. How rewarding has it been to be able, and I know you've stayed in touch with the family and whatnot over all this time, your friends and family. How rewarding has it been to see Johnny come back and obviously have the impact he's having already?
Yeah, I think it's been awesome having John back. He's such a great kid, first and foremost. Awesome family. I think our system really fits John Lovelace. Obviously, he's not shooting it particularly well from 2 right now, but that's just, I think part of that is just getting acclimated to how we play consistently, hard. But the thing about John is, I think his length, his athleticism, his ability to guard multiple positions, his ability to play above the rim at times, be able to knock down an open shot, really adds some depth to our team. If you look at those older guys that we have, none of them are really long like John. So John comes and he gives us size and athleticism and different people of that nature. So he can play multiple positions, so that helps us out tremendously. When we need to play smaller, we can play him at the forward. If there's longer, more athletic wings, we can always put him on.
Has he always had that motor that runs like that, or is that something that just as he has matured and his game has grown, that also has kind of sped up?
Yeah, it's matured. I think it started when he went to prep school.
Yeah.
Played under Rob Landers at United Prep School, and then from there he saw some success and he just kept running with it. So I think for us, I think in a year from now, John's going to be an all-conference player for sure. So we just want to continue to develop him, continue to make sure we're giving him the nourishments and the tools that he needs to be the best player he can be.
What type of person is he? Because you know him as a person first and foremost.
Simple, quiet, very, very quiet, but an unbelievable teammate, a selfless guy. Like most of the guys on the team, he's a selfless guy. There's no me in the team for him. Whatever you need him to do, he'll do. Church-going kid, grew up in the church with the family, so they're at every game. So just a phenomenal kid, just a great kid to add to our roster to represent this city well for us.
We talk about the rivalry with Green Bay, and we talk about tough venues in which to play. As a player, I'll ask you the same same question as I asked Coach Lundy in the first half hour. Going back to your playing days, in your playing days, what was the toughest road venue, or one of the more memorable, tougher road venues, you're laughing already, road venues that you guys had to play, maybe either if you were out of Colorado, which put you at Fog Allen, I know probably, or even that you're here with Milwaukee?
You just named it for me, Fog Allen. I'll never forget, man. I still struggle with this to this day. I got a height problem, right? So I'm out there warming up. It's probably 2 hours before the game, and their student section was there, and every time I took a shot, they're screaming, Webster, Webster, and I've never gotten over that. I've never gotten over that. So anytime I see Kansas, I hope they lose by 40.
Really?
So, absolutely.
You enjoyed that Missouri game yesterday. Was that yesterday then? Did you?
Yes, I did. Yes, I did.
You lingered on that one for a
Yes.
little while.
Yes.
I remember that when a few years ago, this was before Coach Lundy came, and the Panthers went and played at Kansas, and one of the vivid memories, the only time I've been there, one of the vivid memories I have is you're right, that bus, our bus, team bus, pulling up, 2 hours, probably 2:15 before game time, and those students are lined up outside, and they open those doors, and both of those end zones fill up. And again, just, it's December against a mid-major from Milwaukee, Wisconsin. I don't know if they could even point out Milwaukee on a map if you were to ask those students, but my goodness, they were there and they were in full throat.
And I think it goes back to what Coach, you guys were talking about earlier with Coach Lundy. It goes back to when you're at some of those high major schools, you're defeated before you walk in. You know, you're defeated before you walk in. So I'm hoping that at some point here at Milwaukee, our fans are consistent enough to win, and our student body is consistent enough to when other mid-majors walk in, they feel defeated when they walk in. So we're building towards it. We think we can get there. It's going to take some time. We got to continue to win, obviously, but we do have that type of fan base here that can trigger that for us.
Is it as simple quote unquote, as winning? I mean, there are things that you as a coach can control, and that's the on-court product, quite frankly. And if you win games, people will show it. Is it that simple, do you think?
Well, my mother always told me, control what you can control.
Right.
And the only thing we can control as coaches and players is making sure that we're putting a good product out there, right? Making sure that we represent the community, not just on the court, but off the court. I mean, we have our guys in the community, coaches are in the community, our guys get good grades, you know, our guys aren't in trouble, our guys are playing their hearts out. So we're hoping at some point it all comes together. We believe it will, to where we'll be packing.
Yeah. Thoughts on the matchup on Wednesday night with Green Bay? You know, as I said with Coach Lundy, they're scuffing, they're struggling right now. They have a great scorer. He's got a lot of headlines for good and for some not so good recently. And they'll be rocking and rolling. We talk about venues, the Rash. They will be well hydrated probably, and they'll be ready to go on Wednesday night. It'll be a battle.
Yeah, we'll throw the records out there.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter in rivalry games. And to be honest, all it takes is 1 or 2 to get you going in the right direction. So I think for us, we want to go in with a mental focus of, you know, we got to take care of today.
Right.
We got to take care of right now. Can't worry about their record. We can't worry about, you know, all the other shenanigans that might be going on around us. Let's just focus in on playing the game the right way, playing as hard as we can play, and trying to come out of there with a W.
You and I were talking during a break. Green Bay isn't your scout per se. I think you said you have Detroit, Mercy,
Yes, sir.
and then Fort Wayne.
Yes, sir.
And I said you during for those of you who maybe aren't watching that closely, Detroit Mercy, they had 1 win last year, I think 1 or 2 when it was all said and done. New coach, new regime, new life in that program. They already upset Fort Wayne last week, and Fort Wayne is a solid program as well. My question is, thoughts on the league as a whole? Things are changing with a couple of new coaches at Detroit and at IU Indy too.
Yeah, I think the league is as tough as it's been in a while. I think any night you go in and be beat. So, I mean, looking forward to going to Detroit and getting beat. Wright State, we had Wright State on the ropes. They're playing 11 guys turned into more, you know. So they're a very talented team. But I think this league is getting tougher and tougher each year, and I think this is a year where anybody can be beaten.
Well, and look, I mean, we pay attention to the top of the standings because that's where the Panthers are. That's where they're expected to be when it's all said and done. But it is good for the league to get the floor raised. I mean, it's been a tough drag on the conference as a whole, having Detroit and IU Indy, formerly IUPUI, struggle the way they have. It's good to get those programs competitive again.
Absolutely. I think it's good for the Horizon League as a whole. We need every team to be good. I mean, obviously we like to walk into some games and know we're going to win by 20 or 30 points, but it's just not going to happen. You're going to have to grind out every single game this year. And hopefully, you know, we can stay injury-free. Hopefully these guys continue to trust each other, trust in the coaches, and then most of all, stay selfless. And I think we'll have a chance to.
It seems like this group is that. I mean, especially from the outside looking in, from the selfless nature, and you really need that. They're bought in, and it doesn't seem to be a selfish group collectively.
Yeah, absolutely. In today's game, that's probably the hardest thing to do because you know you do have NIL and different things that play a part in different things, right? Play a part in the game now. So to bring together guys that actually want to play together, that want to play the right way, that believe in what coach is preaching, and that really want to represent this community and this university the right way. You don't get that every day, not in today's game. So we're very lucky to have just awesome young men that want to be here for the right reasons.
All right, Jose, I appreciate the time. Best of skill on Wednesday night at Green Bay.
Can I ask you a question?
Yes. Oh, you want to turn the tables?
Yeah, this is a serious question.
Oh, okay. Oh, gosh.
Who's better looking, me or Bart? Because Bart and I have this conversation all the time.
See, what's nice is we have his image behind you, too, so you can kind of do what?
I have more hair than Bart, though. So, no, thanks for having me.
We're out of time.
Thanks for having me.
All right, we'll take a quick break. By the way, we have a winning ticket here that was drawn for 4 tickets to the MK tip-off. By the way, Pfizer 4, we should talk real quick. Pfizer Forum on Sunday at 12:30 against Akron. I've been focusing on Green Bay Wednesday. That's going to be a pretty cool experience, and against a really good mid-major program.
Absolutely. Again, our main focus right
Yes.
now is on Green Bay, obviously, but, kudos to Mike. Mike made this happen, man.
Mike Winans?
Mike Winans, the man. He made it happen, man, and we're lucky to be playing at Pfizer, obviously, where the Bucks play and Marquette plays. But our guys we're used to playing in large venues like that. But we just want to take care of business first at Green Bay and then focus our attention on that.
He's friends with Giannis. That's how it happened. That's what I heard.
Mike's friends with everybody.
Introduce me to him during the break, would you?
Yeah, I don't know if you're high enough on your totem pole to meet Mike.
We'll take a break. We'll come back. I'll read off the winning number for pack of tickets to the MKA tip-off as we continue. Back in a minute.
Looking to take your brand to the next level? Image 360. Signage and bold store signs to eye
Basketball show. The winning ticket that was drawn here tonight, for those of you in attendance, you never know, we'll give stuff away as the season rolls on. The winning number is 1, 8, 9, 7, 6, 1. 189-761. If you got that ticket, you're going to report that to the MPA tip-off on Sunday. Panthers play Akron at 12:30. Then you've got Northwestern and Georgia Tech, and then Loyola and San Francisco. So there'll be 3 games there at Pfizer. But first things first, Wednesday night, Panthers and the Phoenix, 6 o'clock, 5:30 for the broadcast time. If you haven't been up to the Resch Center recently, this is as good a time as any to make the trek. So that'll do it. We'll be back again next Monday night, 6 till 7 for another edition of the Bart Lundy Basketball Show. Thanks to the aforementioned Bart Lundy. Thanks to Associate Coach Jose Winston. Thanks to Team Bus 1 here in full force on Monday night. We'll talk to you Wednesday from Green Bay and next Monday for the next edition of the Bart Lundy Basketball Show. Good night, everybody.
Head to